today, and we're just going to lift the vibrations today. So even if the sky is falling down, we're going to be in our happy place.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
All right, all right. Welcome,
That was
everyone.
That was a good song. Yeah.
That's my new theme song.
Who's the artist on that? Caught you on the spot, didn't I?
Candelion is the group, and the singer is
Okay.
Cara D with a C.
Okay.
Cara D. And it's
Great.
yeah, really a great song. So
Yeah, I like it.
love playing that on, especially on this show where it's uplifting, gratitude. So welcome everybody that's finding us, and thank you for sharing that. I see your messages. And I'm here today with a dear friend, Joseph LoBrutto. Joseph, welcome back to Gratitude Happy Hour. It's not your first go round with us.
It's not my first happy hour with you, and I already got my happy hour drink going on.
Oh, good. I had my ginger ale.
There we go. And I got my coconut, what is it? Coconut ice.
There we go.
So.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's so much going on in the world today, and we haven't chatted to catch up and see what's happening, but I'm excited to hear what's going on with you, and what do you want to give gratitude out for today?
You know, if anything, it's just the people that surrounds me, the people in the world here. And, you know, I have to give gratitude to life and what life is about. And I just feel, out of all, I just feel in a good place and everything around me right now. So that's why I have to give gratitude to where we are in this time of our lifetime right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. You know, I'm so grateful for this country that we live in. I've been traveling, as you know, you and I have talked about it.
Oh yeah, you've been everywhere.
Over 8,000 miles by vehicle, and just seeing the beauty, I mean, absolute beauty that's here in our country. I've always dreamed of going overseas and, places like Paris and Rome and seeing all of the historical structures and everything. But there is so much right here in our own country. And I'm just grateful for eyes to see it, for the sight, and, hearing the birds in the different places in the country. And I found a new bird that I'm just in love with.
And what is this bird?
I knew you were going to ask me. I found it in Colorado, and now it starts with an M. Okay, it'll come. Anyway,
Okay.
I was in Colorado, and I was up on a ski lodge, and I looked out and I saw this bird, and it looked to be black and white. So I was asking my friend Ruth that I was with, what is that bird? It's very strange, but there's a lot of them. And as it came closer, because there were a lot, so they finally came closer to where I was at. And they're like this deep blue and white, and they've got all this other color under their wings. And I'll think of the name of it. At the moment, it just kind of slipped my mind. But they're very vocal. They're a very vocal bird. And things like that were just exciting along the way to find new bits of nature that I never knew existed. And a couple of weeks ago, we went down to the beach and I saw elephant seals for the first time.
They are big creatures, aren't they?
Oh my gosh. I was just in awe. I didn't want to leave. I'm like, can I just stay with them?
We have the manatees in South Florida, and you have the elephant seals.
They have the elephant seals here, and they're so unique. Just watching them, they're so huge, just like the manatees. The manatees are very big.
But they're more aggressive than the manatees, though.
Aggressive, but oh my gosh, can they move on land?
Yeah.
I was watching a little fight between two of the males, and all of a sudden one of the males just starts scooching off, and before you know it, he's like way down the beach. And I'm going, he's so big. How does he move like that?
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's interesting just to see all of nature and meet all the people I've met. And I always like to give an update to people about the journey. And it's been very exciting to be out here in California. I never thought of myself as a California girl because I've always been a Florida girl. But
California, you look good in California.
If I were to have to pick a place, it's going to be a tough fight between Colorado and California. But California has the ocean, and that's not.
Yeah. Well, you lived here in South Florida by the ocean, but just such a different oceans compare, the Pacific and the Atlantic. It's two different worlds.
So different. So very different. But you know what I love out here, Joseph? And I've always said that would be paradise, is to have the mountain and the ocean right there together.
And there you go. California's right there. You drive west or drive east.
Those energies they work so well together. I love both of them individually, but when you see the water come up and lap up against the mountain, and there's just something about it. So anyway, just my update for everyone that's tuning in. I will be in Palm Springs this weekend, California, and I will be doing a land blessing. It'll be the 10th land blessing of the journey, and that will be in, like I said, in Palm Springs. Actually, I think it's Desert Palm Springs. And it will be in the afternoon. So I'll give you an exact time for it as I know, because it's going to be after a church service that's happening right where the land blessing is going to be. And thank you to Charlie. It is magpies. Yes, the magpies. And they are an amazing, amazing bird.
Oh, the birds. Okay, good. You needed a native to tell you what they were.
Yeah. My peas, we're all peas in a pod. The peas take care of their mama pea. They know I have those lapses sometimes where it's like searching for words. So welcome everybody that's watching with us. We have Stacy on. Hi, Stacy.
Is that my assistant, Stacy?
That is your Stacy.
Okay. Well, used to be my Teri at one time.
I know, right? We kind of just played musical assistants there for a
I
bit.
know. You were with me for a few years, and I think it
Yeah.
was first with Stacy, then she had to retire, and then you came along, and then you had to retire, then Stacy came back. It's just like
Absolutely.
revolving.
Yeah. So, Joseph, for those who aren't familiar with you, why don't you share what you do?
Well, I'm a professional medium, psychic, and channel healer. Um, I hate talking about myself normally, but I pretty much do it all. And mediumship is probably the main thing that people come out to see me. I call myself a loving bridge. I'm able to communicate, show evidence that our loved ones are part of our lives, and give closure, help heal a heart as well. I'm also a healer, and we could share the story of your healing with me when we first met too. And I'm a channel. I channel the ascended masters, and I write books and things from the channel. So that
You
gives you
have
an idea.
awesome books. Is
Mhm.
there more to life than what we know?
Hey, I
And
got them right here. Here.
and
Is there more to
Joseph,
life than what we know?
there absolutely is, isn't there?
There sure is on there. And then you got the promise one, the metaphysical teachings of Jesus.
Which
And
is
the
also
last one.
on the CD.
Yep, it's also, and Is There More to Life is on also in a audiobook, and then the Speaking to Heaven book. So and
And Joseph is an amazing writer for those of you who are interested in reading. We do have a book club. So some of the book club members are in here. So that's something to take a look at if you're an avid reader, because I love those books. And yes, Joseph is an amazing.
they're a little unique and different on the writing styles that I have. So and it kind of stories pop up at you like you're there, and the guides, the spirit guides, are talking directly to you in the story. So and in the Speaking to Heaven book, it's almost like your loved ones are having a conversation with you and how to connect with them. So that's what I hear about when you read these books.
Yes, which our loved ones do have conversations with us. And
Always.
Joseph, I love the story. Would you mind sharing the story about your grandmother?
Yeah.
I love this
Well,
story.
you love the story about her. I was about 9 years old, and she passed away when I was about 9. And I remember my father taking me to the funeral to go see her in the casket and her laid out. And this is the first time I ever experienced death. And my father's telling me that this is our last chance to say goodbye to grandma, because she'll be in heaven with the angels. I was 9 years old, how he explained it to me. Well, I saw her laid out. He brought me up to the coffin. I did my little prayer, went to the cemetery, saw her go in the ground. I said my goodbyes, didn't think of anything else. Days later, I was just walking in my bedroom, minding my own business, and there she was sitting at the edge of the bed, just like how I see you here. And it scared me. At that time, I used to see spirits, and I didn't know I was seeing spirits. I thought they were regular people at the time. But now that I saw my grandmother, it scared me. And I remember running out of the room, screaming. And I could hear her voice in the back saying, "Joey, I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. And I love you." Those words always resonate with me, but I kind of had to sleep with my head underneath the covers, headphones in the ears. I didn't want to feel anything anymore until I stopped. I stopped seeing spirits until my mid-20s. So, but that's when my grandmother came to me and made her appearance known to me.
And that's how our loved ones are. They can just come and talk to us at any time.
Oh yeah.
And I love that. There's so many people that don't understand that. And that's what I love about what you do, because you can bring closure to someone. And just really give them that message where they know that it's their loved one that's speaking, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, when I give the messages to our loved one, it's just a strong validation of who they are when they come through. It's just personal information that will come through for the loved ones. And gives a chance of closure. It's a healing process that they go through, because we don't understand at times that what happens to them when they're not here anymore? Are they able to communicate with us? Do they know what's happening here in this world? Do they know about the grandchildren? Do they know about marriages or anything? And when meeting a medium, it brings all that through, that it shows that our loved ones are part of our lives, that they're experiencing all that. So it kind of gives that closure, knowing that your loved ones are always with you and they don't seem as far away as they seem anymore. People start to say, wow, I used to think they were gone, far away, but now I realize they're just a breath away. And for those of you who have lost loved ones to, like suicides and murders, we think the worst sometimes of them in the afterlife, but it's not that way. Those who commit suicide, they're not suffering. There's no hell for them. They're going through a phase, they're going through a healing, they're surrounded by love. They're surrounded by those who want to help them heal their pain. They're making a big understanding on the pain that they had here on this earth and why they took their own lives and why their life was difficult here on earth. As they learn and progress in heaven, they start to uplift all this guilt and all this depression off of themselves, and they become one. They become a good, big, healthy soul, I call it. And this is what happens too. So
I love that. And yeah, I love giving the confirmation that they're not in pain anymore, because a lot of people, especially suicides, they're in a lot of tortured pain emotionally.
yeah,
Usually.
they are.
Yeah, so it's always a good thing to comfort people.
But when suicides come through, it's mainly when they come through is to heal our pain here, not to heal their pain on the other side. They're very apologetic, and they ask for forgiveness when they come through. And they try to let the ones who are grieving here, to let them know that they're in a good place, a safe place, they're healing. And they try to ease the pain for the mess they left behind. And that's how suicides come through with me.
Yeah. Joseph, there's been a lot of accidents lately. I just heard today about another skiing accident, and it was the second one in like days. And it was young people. So when somebody is taken abruptly like that, whether it's, skiing, car accident, whatever, is there a difference when you connect with them? Is the energy different when that person was?
When it's a younger person, it's more vibrant. And it's funny because it reminds me of a story of a son who lived in Colorado, who passed away just kind of going through the mountains and got in a car accident. But his spirit came in through for the mother, so vibrant, so young, and how he just kind of went where he wanted to go, hung out with these friends, and went skiing at certain place. He started naming different places in Colorado, how he loved to ski, mentioned his girlfriend and how they planned to get married. But the energy is so much different when they're a younger vibration, of a younger soul. Why do young people die? We have that question mark too. And sometimes we just have, before we're here, before we come to this earth plane, we know when we're going to die, how we're going to die, when we're going to go. We just here for a certain amount of time. And when that young person chooses a young time, they only have so much lessons they want to learn, and they can learn it in that time frame. So they decide to go in that time frame. So this is why you have young people passing away.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So like for somebody like me, I've got a lot of lessons, huh?
Well, yeah, the ones that live an older age, we decided to stick around. We have a lot of, but the persons like you, Teri, are more like your helpers, your light workers. And it's not that you have a lot of lessons here. You have a lot of healing to do for people. And this is why you're living a longer age, is to open the eyes of unaware, to bring enlightenment, to bring healing onto the world. And that's what your choice is to be. And now you're doing this. Now you're at this certain point of age. You have this freedom to travel. You have made, and before you this, online, you had your show for years going on. You made so many friends throughout the country that now everyone's opening up their doors for you, and you just travel to friend to friend to friend to friend to friend at a place to stay. This is what you meant to do.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't have planned this trip. the angels just kind of opened up those doors.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's people going, come here, come here.
Yeah. That's wonderful. It's who you are. You're very given and open, and people welcome you into their home very easily. So yeah.
Yeah. I did have a near-death experience a few years back.
I
And
remember.
yeah, and I was given that choice at that time. I very clearly saw and heard the angels say, what do you want to do? Like this could be it. And it would have been that easy. It would have been so easy just to close my eyes. But there was just something I knew inside of me, that there was a mission that was bigger than what I had done in my lifetime. So I'm just so grateful that I can hear them. I've always heard the angels, always, my whole
Right.
life. So I was so grateful that all of a sudden the brain cell did kick in and say, no, wait. But I think many people get that choice, when it's there's an opportunity to either say, I'm done, I'm out of here. And
Right.
I call them exit points. Do you have a name for them, or do you?
They're exit points. That's what I would call them too. And sometimes we can bypass that exit point if we feel we're not ready yet. Those are your survivors who survived death and they are turned back. Sometimes when they get to a point, they realize that their journey's path here on earth is not completely fulfilled. And instead of coming back to reincarnate another time, they're given an opportunity that there's another exit point in their lifespan that they can go to. And so that's when they come back again. So those are those near-death experience ones. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love talking to people about their near-death experiences. Some people actually do, their soul does go, but then comes back. Mine, it was just at that point, I just knew that all I had to do was say my yes. And that would have been it, because I saw the angels so clearly. I just felt myself weakening in my body, and I just knew I could just go, so easily. But
And most people with near death, they open up spiritually, or so they get much more enlightened, and they come back and they're seeing loved ones on the other side and talking to their angels and everything. I always say, thank God I didn't have to go through a near death to get where I'm at. I don't know if I could survive doing something like that. So, yeah.
it's not easy.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah.
Oh, we have such beautiful people on with us, and I had plans to go to India, and I thought that I was going to be there already, but that has been postponed because India still is not open for people to come in for recreational travel. But
Yeah.
one of the people watching says that I have a home in India whenever I come.
Wonderful.
So
Good.
yeah, that's
Maybe
the beauty. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's what I said. You have made friends all over the world that they open their doors for you. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So
Sharing the light. That's what they're all
that's
doing.
it. That's what we do. We share the light. We're all light workers. So
Absolutely.
mhm.
So I have a question, and it's just more like a contemplation about what we've been through. We've gone through what, 14, almost 15 months now of this pandemic, and I really myself I feel like we're coming out of this very different than we went into it. And I feel like there's been a lot of people who did a lot of soul searching during that time. Are you experiencing that with the people that you talk to?
Things that we took for granted, like just going to a bar and get a drink and listen to music, or sitting at a restaurant, or going to a movie theater. We always took things for granted. It's always there. That now we say, wow, these are opportunities that we shouldn't have took for granted. And it's more of a blessing that we're able to go out in public and do all these things. And I have people realizing, the things that they have missed. 2019, just a movie theater full of people with popcorn and just laughing at a movie. That seems like eons ago. And, but that's what I'm trying to say. It's just, this is what people are starting to appreciate more. Also, sitting in solitude and oneness, everybody has they're reflecting back on their lives. They're looking at what they have accomplished in life. I have done many readings of soul counseling where people are just trying to figure out, where do I go from here? Or they take a look at their lives that they have lived and say, wow, I was so long doing this, and I put myself in a place where I should be here and I'm still here. Maybe life is short and I need to push on and do this. So yeah, this is what I've been seeing with this COVID going on.
Yeah, that's what I've also been hearing. People are finding their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, all those questions about, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to be doing? What's this thing called life all about? And I think a lot of people have had time to contemplate that. And the name of your book, Is There More to Life Than What We Know? I think
Yeah.
we all had a chance to think about that, didn't we?
That's why I titled the book that way, because when I wrote that book 20 years ago when I started writing that. And it was just a question, why we're here, what is life about, and what we need to do in our journeys. It's a channel book. I channel my masters, and they're the ones who have the teachings in that book. And so, yeah, we're here to put things together, and we're here for a temporary time. And we need to get our karmic lessons done. We need to fulfill what we need to do so we can kind of progress and move forward. The earth needs to move forward. So the souls on this earth have to move forward so it can move with her. It's very important because the earth is ready to go through change too. It's pushing, and us as souls, we need to push through and get more enlightened to push through with her too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we very rarely think about that, about the earth, how it is shifting with us as we are. And
yeah, it's totally shifting.
Or whatever you want to call it, it's a major shift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's going through a shift. And if you notice a lot of reports on these extraterrestrial UFOs reports here, they're getting more, and the government's starting to release some things out. That is pretty much the beginning of non-disclosure, or just kind of opening up to the what's there in the universe, that we're not alone. It's kind of, and this is part of the Earth transition too, because a lot of these galactic beings are supposed to help us to adjust to the new vibration, the new energy of Earth, to put away negativity more into the positivity, into the light. And this is why you're seeing this civil war kind of happening between light and dark, and butting heads. They got this opinion, and it's because of what's going on right now. But everything is going to mellow out, and everything's going to go its course once this fire is over, so to say.
Yeah, I like that optimism, Mister.
It's part of the new book I'm writing. I don't have a title yet, but it's part of a journey of life, and it's a continuation of Is There More to Life Than What We Know? It's a continued book about what the Earth is going to go through, about our visitation of extraterrestrials and what they're about, and how we're going to enter into the next phase, into our evolution. And I got this all here in paper, and I'm writing it now.
So you spent your time well in solitude, I see.
Yeah, I do. That's why I do my best thinking. Or if I'm driving for miles and miles when I'm traveling, but I haven't been traveling much, so it's pretty much solitude. And yeah, I'm more than a medium. You know, I go deeper in those. And if anyone reads my books, they can see that it's not just mediumship that I do on there. But when I talk about solitude and thing, is like, for years I was asked to do Zoom stuff like I'm doing here. Never had time. I was always on the road. I never had time to do anything. This past year, I'm on it all the time. Have a show every Wednesday with my co-host Kristen called Night of Love, Hope, and Laughter. We started it last year during COVID, and just to talk to the world and give healings, readings, and metaphysics and things. And you know, so now I'm online every day, or every week at least. I'm online doing something like this, or online almost every day doing readings all over the world through Zoom. So,
and I love Kristen. I know her from back in Florida, and she's an amazing person. So I'm so glad
I think you met her during one of my events, maybe in Renegades, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I remember. So
we got together a couple of times and chatted, and he's a beautiful soul.
She is. we complement each other. She does her thing, I do my thing, and it kind of works. It kind of gets us flowing on where we go. We have a good, like a good co-host talk show going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just became aware of the show just this past week and caught the last
Oh,
all did together. It was really good.
oh,
So tell us when you're on.
it will be on tomorrow, 8 p.m. every Wednesday at 8 p.m. A night of love,
Eastern,
hope, and
right?
laughter. 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, we'll be doing live readings, conversations, talk, and we are on for sometimes an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on. There'll be a live link that you can click on to participate and join us on the show and get readings too. So yeah, it's a fun show.
So for those of you that follow my shows, it'll be just before chanting on Wednesday night.
Oh, we're both
So
on Wednesday night.
well, I chant every night online. We've been doing that now for 276 days in a row. We've been
Wow.
chanting for peace. It's called Chanting for Change. We have a question from Grace Isis, who lives in New York, but she's currently in Florida. I believe she's in Boca, which is really close to where you are.
Yeah,
And she
it's my
says,
office.
Thank you, Joseph. Kindly wishing to know how you get the information transmitted. And I thank you, sir, with love and gratitude.
Okay. I have to see if I can I get transmission. I get it transmitted in different ways. If, for instance, if I'm contacting the loved ones and everything, it's listening to your loved ones and hearing them and channeling their messages to you. If it's from the higher source and from guides, which I think this is what she's asking, is I have this connection where, well, we all have this connection where we can go deep and we connect. It's a universal life force, third eye. I always connect with them here. And I just feel them. It's like a raincoat that merges with me. And I'm a trance channel where I can go into trance. And you probably see me do this many times, Teri,
Yeah.
when I channel my guides come through to talk to people. But if I'm not going into trance, I can still feel them kind of wrapped around me. And they're helping me. And this is where my words come through. Automatic writing is my strongest aspect. This is why I write the books out, because I hear the words and I type it out in my automatic writing. When I go deeper into trance, when I'm unconscious channeling, they will speak through me. They'll talk directly to everyone. And it's a consciousness, it's a thought that enters into me. And I just kind of step to the side. I'm not completely gone. I'm not unconscious, but I'm semi-conscious. And I'm kind of like right here. And I hear their thoughts and their feeling. And that's how the transmission has happened. This is how they speak through me.
Beautiful. So Grace, I hope that explains that for you. Such a beautiful soul. I love Grace Isis. And then we have Rick on with us, and he says, I think I was touched by an angel last night. So let's talk about that.
Well, there's ways of different contact with angels if we're touched by angels. If we're going through depression or sadness and then something comes in, or a force or a being, even a live person, it helps us get over what we're going through, to push us through. That's a way of being touched by an angel. Accidents, guardian angels step in and prevent us from getting hurt. That's another way of being touched by an angel as well. But what I feel mainly where he's coming from, being touched by an angel, I just felt like he instantly got guidance in where he needed to go. It just came out of nowhere, and that's where he felt. Or sometimes we can meet a stranger, and that stranger just has this wisdom come out of them and helps us where we need to go. So when you meet a stranger, you never know who they are. You may have met an angel. So
Absolutely. I've had that happen many times.
I felt like that has happened with my life too, as well as extraterrestrials and angels. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been planning on going to Mount Shasta. Of course, there was things that delayed the trip. And anytime there's a delay, I try not to get frustrated with that delay. I try to just step away and say, okay, that was something I tried to do and wasn't divine timing. But I feel like there's some real energy up there with extraterrestrials. And I've talked to several people that have had the experience of, either meeting somebody or seeing somebody, and then all of a sudden they're not there anymore. And so I have a feeling that my journey there is going to be divine timing for whatever is going to come forth for me to experience there at Shasta. And I'm excited.
The energy is very high. I've not gone to Mount Shasta, but I have been to Lake Shasta, right down in the valley of Mount Shasta. And I stayed on a houseboat for a good week there. And I could just feel the energy and the vibration, and I could see Mount Shasta from the lake, and thinking one day I'll make it up there. It was in the summertime, like in July. But I could just feel the vortex. I could feel a big pulling for me to go there. And I just didn't have the opportunity because I was with my ex-wife's family at the time with my daughter, and we were all on the houseboat together and kind of doing the family thing there. And I didn't have time to just take off on my own. But one day I will make it there. Maybe you'll see me there.
Maybe I will.
Because I'm talking about going there in the spring.
You better hurry, because I think I'm leaving where I'm at right now in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I won't be that soon.
Yeah, I'll be making my way up that direction after that.
It's going to be cold. It's still going to be cold up there at this time now. So, and you're in high altitudes.
It's cold here in the mountains.
Yep. You're going to be in high altitudes. So prepare to your Florida thin blood. It's going to get cold up there.
I've been in the mountains almost since I left Florida. I've visited in Michigan, New York,
okay.
the mountains of Colorado for over a month.
So you've been in the cold weather already. Okay, good.
I've been in the snow. I wasn't so brave to make a snow angel. I might make a sand angel, but no snow angels for me.
It's good. It's wonderful to travel, and each state you go to has a different vibration to it and different tone that you feel. So, and it's incredible. I miss traveling. It's been a while since I've hit the road like that too.
Yeah, it's coming back. I feel this in my soul. I feel that it's coming back, where everything's starting to open up now. And
I feel by the summertime, things are going to be a little bit back to normal by the summer.
Yeah. So. Last week, I went out to dinner with my host here in this part of the world. And we went to a little Italian restaurant. You would have probably loved it, with real Italian music, and the waiter that spoke Italian, and and the menu was in Italian. And it just felt so good to do something normal.
Yeah, that's it. Normal.
And we sat out on the patio to eat, and we're just sitting there with music playing and the food. And I'm like, wow, normal.
I know.
This is what life used to be like, right?
And we're going to get back to normal. I got a feeling this fall, everything's, in the holiday time starting, especially Halloween time, things are going to start to feel a little normal. So, yeah.
Yeah, I truly do believe that. And I'm looking forward to seeing more people out and about as I've journeyed. There are a lot of people that are out, but not like the normal for this part of the world.
Yeah, it's like a sporting event with the theaters full or the stadiums filled, and you just don't see that anymore. So it's like my events too. It has to have social distancing. That I only have one place here in Palm Beach that's big enough that I can just get 15 people spaced out on there, and that's it. And every other place is too small, because if I had 15 in another place, we can put them all tight. Maybe get 15 to 20. And this bigger place, we used to get the Jamar Enlightenment Center. You know the place. We can get 50 to 75 people in there, no problem. Or Renegades, where you have helped me many times. We have had 300-400 people and out there doing, when I do my shows, my galleries. Now we can't do that anymore, and I miss doing that. So
yeah, there's so much that we've had a loss, and that's the thing. We have had a loss, and we need to acknowledge that loss and process the grief of it, of not having the things like family gatherings, even. And being able to get together on special occasions. So I think it's time for us all to really do that deep healing. of the loss that we have experienced so that we can move forward. And I
And
know
some
it's
and so sometimes we get placid and we think, let's take a chance. Maybe it's not that bad. And I have to use my own personal story. In January, we had or just end of December, between New Year's, we had a family get together. My daughter was here, my son was here, went to my mother's house, and they got to see the grandchildren and stuff. Of course, we didn't wear a mask and stuff around family. And then 2 weeks later, she had COVID. My brother got it first, gave it to her. And she was in a hospital, now a nursing facility since January, and she's still there. And she says very fatigued. She can't walk on her own and get up until she has her strength, and she can come home once she gets her strength back. But she had COVID. She tested positive for 4 weeks before she got a negative. So now they're just starting physical therapy with her. And here, we thought, it's just our family, and, we thought we were good. And she was always isolated in her house. She had her nurse come in, and that was it. And she was not around anybody. And this one time we let our guard down. So, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that something? We have a dear friend, a member of our P family, and she doesn't go out anywhere. And she ended up with COVID a couple of weeks ago. So it's like,
yeah, wonder how does she get it if she doesn't go out?
Yeah, had to come in somehow into the house.
Yeah.
There's a question, Joseph, if you don't mind, if I can read that. It says, Joseph, I recently had an accident on a beach in Goa, in India. I felt a very strange and strong feeling as if an extra energy, unknown, has hit my feet, which made me fall. Can unknown energies also attack or strike you? I felt as if two unknown hands twisted and sprained my foot.
What I call it heavy energy, and it wouldn't just be the one occasion. If you just felt like that all the time, that something is very heavy around you, you're feeling nauseous, you're feeling sick, you feel negativity around you, then I would say I call it an attachment. And you have an attachment where you just need clearing and send it to the light. But just the one incident with something kind of grabbing you while you're walking on the beach, I would say it would have to be more that heavy energy has to be more with you than just that beach incident. So you probably was going through some stuff during that time on there, but that's what I feel about attachments and things. So yeah.
Pritchett, I hope that helped. I know we've been praying for her and lifting her up during this time. She's getting ready to have a memoriam for her mother who passed last year. So
I'm sorry to hear that. She should tune into our show tomorrow night. I'll be happy to tune in to her mom, send healing her way, and she can just come online with us tomorrow.
Yeah. Is there a specific place, Joseph, that you broadcast? Is it on?
Yeah, it's on Facebook and YouTube. Those are the two places you can get the link.
How would she find it? On your page on Facebook?
Yes, she'll come to my page, and then she'll find me here. And it's 8 p.m. Eastern time, New York time, 8 p.m.
Okay.
So
there you go, Pritchett. Please tune in tomorrow night, and anybody else who would like to see Joseph in action.
Yeah, I do live readings online. It's pretty fun. I enjoy doing it online. So yeah.
Great. So it's your business page, Joseph LoBrutto?
Yeah, I have the business pages. It's called American Most Loved Medium, Joseph LoBrutto.
Okay.
But just put Joseph LoBrutto, and you'll get both of my pages. So
okay.
On there.
So Pritchett said she will tune in tomorrow night. So
good. I look forward to meeting her and seeing her. I can remember Pachetta. No, that's a name I can remember.
Right.
So wonderful. Good.
So. And we have somebody that wants to know how do we understand the extraterrestrial aspect, the sightings and the news? We just recently had a sighting here. It was in New Mexico just recently. And it was very big, and it made national news when that happened. I don't know if you heard about that one.
No, I haven't heard of that one yet, but they're all leaking out, so to say. And so what was the question for that person asked?
How do we understand that aspect of the
The,
extraterrestrial?
it's it's just when someone shows themselves little by little. It's not like a UFO landing at one time and think it's an invasion. As we get used to the concept, it's like when someone says something over and over and over and over, then we get desensitized to it and it becomes the norm on it. So once it becomes the norm of UFO sightings, then it's not as shocking. People are excited. Let me look for this UFO. Yeah, there's a sighting. Let's take a picture. There's another one. There's another one. And then next thing we're going to know is that we're going to start to see the beings. And it's all going to be tied up with the government when we start to see the beings introductions and things like that. So.
Yeah, from what I understand, they're walking amongst us.
Oh yeah, I had a story in Is There More to Life Than What We Know book where I met one. Her name was named Debbie,
And that's
she
where the
gave
card came from.
yeah
Right?
she gave me those light language. It's called those energy cards, drawings in light language. I was like 26, 27 years old at the time when I received this. So this is going way 25 years ago. And she told me to use this for healing of the mind, body, and soul for my chakras. They have the cards hold energy. You hold your hands just above each symbol, and it resonates energy through it. You can feel the heat, and it'll keep you well-being. She said if I use the cards, it'll keep me healthy, young, and keeping me in tune the rest of my life and connection with spirit. That was 25, 26 years ago, and I'm still doing it. So I use those cards every time I demonstrate them.
I love those cards myself. For any of you that have never seen them, go to Joseph's website and
yeah, I got them. I didn't bring them in this room here, but hold on, let me grab them real quick.
Okay. Yeah, the cards carry such great energy, and the symbols on them, they really speak to me. And Stacey says she has the cards. Yeah, I still have mine. I just don't have them right here in front of me.
Yeah, so these are the cards right there. Those are the symbols to get a little idea if it's clear. But yeah, there we go. They're very powerful. But we talk about extraterrestrials and meeting them. Debbie claims they call them the Fijians, and she is incarnated as a human to carry on the work as the Fijians. And when she worked with me, she downloaded my DNA code that was missing. At this time, I wasn't doing any of this work. I was just learning. I was at the beginning of my channeling stages, learning who my guides were. After she worked with me and I got the download, within that year, my channel started to come through stronger. I started writing and my mediumship abilities started to kick in, and everything's just started to fall into place. Like she said, she told me I was going to be on television, writing books and all this stuff. Everything that she said is coming in fruition right now. So yeah, it's just the first ET I ever met and told me what I'm going to be doing, and I'm doing it.
I love it.
But at that time, I thought she was kind of weird. I thought, yeah, ET, come on. I was 20-something years old, very skeptical, and I'm thinking I met a crazy woman here who thinks she's an extraterrestrial. But then she drew out those symbols that I shoot. She drew them out on index cards for me, right there in the spot. And then I went into meditation where she had her hands above me. I was laying on the ground. This is in the Ocala forest, by the way, in Florida, California. It was in a Native American powwow when I met her. But
Right.
She put her hands just above me. They feel like heat coming out of it. And then as I closed my eyes, I saw this mist. I could hear my name, Joseph, as I seen this alien being with long hair just in my third eye come to me. And that's when I got activated. It was an incredible experience. It's chapter 5 in my book, by the way. So,
well, I know Stacey is still with us. Stacey, can you please type into the comments the website where people can go and find the books and the cards and information about how to get a session with Joseph, because you still are doing private sessions just over Zoom, right?
No, my office in Boca is open. So
your office is open.
Yeah, I'm using the big giant conference rooms so I can social distance, and I'm putting those in effect. So yeah. So it works out there. And then for those of you who are not in South Florida, I am doing Zoom readings or telephone or Zoom, either one. So, yeah. And I do smaller gatherings, smaller home parties. Remember how I used to do all the home parties?
Yes.
So I just made a smaller people to, depending on the guest size. If we do it outdoors, we can do more people. A lot of them are doing outdoors here where we have 12 people and we're outside. And so it's pretty, we're still making it work in a ways.
Good.
Limping along. I call it limping along. We're limping along, but we're getting there.
We're making progress.
Yeah.
That's the thing in life is to strive for, actually, is progress.
I know.
I just heard Tony Robbins last week, and that was one of the things he mentioned. It's not about perfection, it's about progress and celebrating the small wins in life, and
Right.
it brings us to the place we need to be. Thank you, Stacy, for posting the website for us. She's awesome.
She is.
So I know we're on different channels. So if you're not seeing the link, Stacy, I think you're probably on Enlightened World Network where you're posting that. So thank you. Oh, and the phone number too. Thank you. Wow, she's on the ball.
She is good.
Really good. And Stacy's been through a lot herself lately. She's in recovery.
She has.
So
She has.
her up in prayer and helping her.
Yeah. I had two wonderful assistants. Well, I had three wonderful assistants, and you were one of them. Stacy's one of them, and also Mary. Mary Ellen was. Mary Ellen, don't you, as well? She is one of them too. She was my original one when I first started in 2008. And then Stacy came aboard around 2011 and worked for me until you came aboard, I think 2017, around there. And then Stacy came back after you had to go. So I had three beautiful, wonderful assistants helping me to do my work. So I can't complain about that.
It's a wonderful experience. I learned a lot. And
but you went through a healing with me.
Yeah.
And I remember when you first reached out to me before you met, and I invited you to come to a healing. You want to share that?
Sure. Yeah. I went with really no expectation. I didn't know what was going to happen and what the outcome would be. I just knew I was drawn to be there. And Joseph was so kind to invite me. And so Joseph does this healing where he gets in contact with his masters and the angels and calls them all in. And then he goes around kind of like a Reiki circle setup where he goes around behind you and places his hand on a certain part that might have an issue. And I had a frozen shoulder that day. I could not lift my arm. It was so painful even to move it, but I could not lift it up at all. And after the hand went on my shoulder and there was a lot of heat in the hand and I felt the heat going through, and I tried to lift it and I could. I lifted up above my head even without any pain. So there's a lot of power in energy healing. And the healing happens really on the inside, but you are the facilitator bringing that through, that heat with the energy coming through from your guides and from your angels. And you're just an amazing conduit for that healing energy, Joseph. You really are.
They work through me, and I work through the person's back. So whatever issues they have in the body, I am told to where to put my hands, and I work through their back area. And the masters, they'll make their presence in the room. People could feel, even if I'm not standing behind them, they can feel a presence with them, turning their head, lifting their arms as they sit there in meditation. And then the energy in the room is just so strong. You have people on the other side of the room just crying for no reason, just crying. They're just releasing. And normally aches and pains will dissipate within hours, and major diseases will go away within a short period of time. And it's just incredible. And that experience I got was from John of God in Brazil, where I had the opportunity in 2012 to go to Brazil, and I was informed that I was to become a healer. He kind of worked with me in a way that time, giving me these crystals to connect me to the casa, telling me that I was going to be a strong healer, that I'm going to be in tune with his guides with these crystals, and I have my own collective, and that Jesus or Jesus works through me strongly, and to prepare myself because I'll be healing like him. And a year later in the States, 2013, I started healing people like that, and now I'm known as a healing medium as well as a medium to bring loved ones on the other side. So it's a lot of aspects of who I am. I know at the very beginning, you asked what I'm about, and I have a hard time talking about myself, but I am a spiritual healing medium where I'm able to bring these guides through, these healing guides, archangels and masters in through to do healings for the mental, physical, and spiritual self. I'm also a medium, spiritual medium, where I'm able to tap into those loved ones to bring them through to you as well. And as a channel, I'm able to channel the wisdom of the ascended masters and their teachings. So that's pretty much of that aspect, as well as a psychic, as seeing a life path direction and guidance. I call it more of a spiritual counseling, where I give you direction, or they give you direction in life, where to go as I tune into them. So that's pretty much an aspect of who I am. I know you asked that question at the very beginning, and I caught me a little off guard, but now I can go into that flow.
Well, thank you for sharing with us. And I know when I was working with you, just heard so many testimonies from people that received healing. You know, healing comes in different ways. And when you give a message from a loved one, that's healing.
That is healing.
An emotional healing inside, a soul healing. So I'm just very proud to know you, and so honored to have been a witness to so many healings that took place while I was there working with you.
Well, you were part of the one tribe here. You were part of me, part of who we were. And like I said, I couldn't have done it without you, Stacy, Mary. You're the ones who kind of lifted me up and helped me be where I am today. So I thank all of you, and I love to all of you.
Thank you so much, Joseph. I really appreciate you, and I thank you for your time today and coming and sharing with everyone. And if y'all love Joseph as much as I have gotten to know him and love him, then go check out his website. If you're in Florida, see if there's something going on where you can connect with him, or Stacy gave you the phone number, call her up.
Yeah. Yep. South Florida. It's easy. Our Journey of Life. That's it. .com.
Stacy shared the link, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone that has tuned in today. So grateful to all of you for being here. Such a blessing to be able to come in every week. And there we go. There's your yes. This is what we've started doing now. Repeating things 3 times to give it that more power. Yes. And
it's wonderful.
Yeah. So we're going to end the show with that, with the yes. And Joseph, I'd love to have you come back sometime, and maybe
anytime.
If you would be willing, maybe sometime you can come in and we can have the audience ask for some messages from you. Not to put you on the spot, but
no, that's if you want to do a live, if you like to do a live show where you want to bring audience on, that's where I shine. And that's what I do. That's Wednesday night. I take live calls, and it's not putting me on the spot. It's what I do. I enjoy doing it.
There you go. Y'all heard it from him. Your love. So we're going to leave you all. Joseph, any last words that you want to leave everyone with?
Just know that everyone's on a journey, and we have life lessons to learn. And sometimes life can be difficult and frustrating, and we have all these obstacles to get through. But if we work hard and we focus on where we need to be, focus on today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about your past. Your past is in your past. Focus on today. Accomplish what you need to do today. The future will be here in no time. And you'll get through. Just take baby steps, and you'll get through what you're getting through in life.
Absolutely. Okay. Beautiful words. Thank you, my friend. Many blessings to you. And to all of you, I love you so much. Bye, everybody.